Hey, everybody. Well, I'm so excited to go live with you guys today. Happy Friday. I almost forgot what day it is. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? How's everybody hanging? And by the way, if you're just, maybe this is your first live with me. I don't know. If it is, I'm Lori Plyler. So excited you guys are here. I work with women in business, sales, and leadership to help thrive in their career without sacrificing family, joy, or energy. And I am so passionate about empowering all of my girlfriends out there. So today, by the way, I almost forgot, if you're hopping on, say hi. I'd love to know you're here. So put live in the comments. Tell me that you're here. If you're watching later, put replay. That way I know Facebook is working. And also, I'd love to know that you're here. So say hi. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me what industry you're in. I'd love to know. I know I work with tons of women in so many different industries, from corporate sales to nonprofits to real estate agents, personal trainers, girls that sell on Etsy, network marketers, really everybody. And so I'm so excited that you're here. But say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're from. Y'all, I feel like my hair is crazy today. My 2-year-old was running around and just being a madman today. So anyways, hi. I am so excited you guys are here. Welcome. Everybody say hi in the comments. If you are just hopping on, hey girl, glad you're here. Welcome. So let me jump into this. I'm so excited about what I want to share today. And if you're just hopping on, one more time, hey, I'm so excited you guys are here. My name is Lori Plyler, and I help women in business thrive in business, sales, and leadership without sacrificing family, joy, or energy. And I'm so passionate about empowering other women to really know that they can have their cake and eat it too. You know, that you can have it all. You just have to choose to and make an intentional plan. So today, I want to talk with you guys about customer service and really how to create customers for life. You know, have you guys ever heard that term that it's easier to, or not easier, well, it might be easier too, but it's less expensive to keep a customer that you have than it is to acquire a new customer. Have you ever heard about the term customer acquisition? It basically means how much money does it cost you to acquire a new customer? And what that thought process is really all about is that if you can build a client base that's loyal to you, that wants to do business with you over and over again, it is way easier and way more cost effective to nurture and love that customer base and keep them as an ongoing client than it is to constantly be having to like find and replace. And so I want to talk with you guys about how you can create the most amazing customer loyalty, the most fabulous experience with your customers, really through sparkling customer service and you being really clear on your values and what you're communicating to your audience. So the first thing I want to say, and I actually got this from a book by Simon Sinek, highly recommended. It's called Start With Why, but it's all about branding and business. So if you've never read it, go grab it. I'm sure you can get it on Audible. I got it on Amazon, I think at the time, but it really got my thoughts going around this like 6 or 7 years ago. And one of his key phrases that he talks about in that book, which I really love, is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the general thought around that is that no matter what brands are out there, the brands that really create this cult following, you know, where people are like diehard users of their brand, they'll go out of their way, they'll pay more, they'll refer it to their friends and their customers for life. Those types of companies that have customers like that, typically those customers are attracted to that brand not because of what they sell, but because of what they sell, like what it represents and how they identify with that in their own core values. And so it's a really important thing to think about as you're building your business is what are you communicating to people? So just to give you an example that Simon Sinek talked about from the book that I really loved was he talked about Apple computers and how, you know, I'm using an iPhone right now and a Mac, and I'm a diehard Apple person. Are you? Put Apple in the comments if that's you too, because I love my Apple products. But it was really interesting how he talked about that, like, really the shift for Apple came back in, like, I think it was like, I can't remember if he said the 80s or the 90s, but one of those. And he was talking about this commercial they came out with back then. And it said something like, just be different, or, you know, stand out or like go against the grain. It said something like that. And back in the climate of the times back then, even though their product wasn't the top seller at that time, they were really more of an emerging brand. That message that they gave made them stand out from all the other computer brands and companies that were on the market. And people that, felt like on the fringe of society or not the norm or more unique or creative or whatever really identified with Apple. And that was the beginning of their cult following. You can see it in so many brands. Harley Davidson is another amazing brand. I mean, that cult following in Harley Davidson is so strong. People flipping get Harley Davidson tattooed on their body, And so it's another great example of people are not super loyal to Harley Davidson or Apple just because of the actual product, right? It's the culture that it represents. Like people that drive Harleys, they're in a tribe, they're in a tribe. If you drive a Harley motorcycle and you pass another one on the road, you'll always see them like do a little thing, like wave at each other or whatever. And they have a different sense of pride and a different ownership and like values by being like connected to that brand. And so I want you to think about that for your own business and your own brand. And of course it'll look different for you. Maybe you're not selling computers or motorcycles, maybe you're selling a coaching business or service-based business. Maybe you clean houses. Maybe you lead a team of leaders in the corporate world. Maybe you do lashes. I don't know. Maybe you sell skincare products. Maybe you do hair. Maybe you're a photographer. Whatever it is, I want you to know that this can translate into your business. And how I want you to think about it is like, what makes me different and why would somebody want to work with me regardless of the product that I offer? Because here's the reality, you guys. People want to buy from you because they connect with you. If they didn't connect with you, they would just go Google whatever it is they wanted to buy and buy it from someone else. We want to do business psychologically with people that we connect with, that we feel like we are alike, and that we identify with their values. And so when you're marketing yourself and building your business and working to attract new clients and working to work with your existing clients, it is so, so valuable and important to, first of all, consider identifying what your core values and philosophies are as a business and learning how to communicate those to your clients. It is truly a game changer. So for example, let's say you are in the field of real estate and let's say you really want to communicate, stand out to your clients because you give top-notch, like white glove service to luxury clients. And you want people to know that family is your top priority and that you go above and beyond for your customer. You're not just like the status quo transaction out to get a paycheck or whatever people might think. You're there truly for them before anything else. So that's a great example of why someone would want to do business with you versus anybody else, right? They can call any real estate agent up and have them help them with a transaction, right? So why do they want you to be their realtor? Well, maybe they identify, maybe family is also really important to them. Maybe they love great customer service and really appreciate that. Maybe they love the fact that you are very personable and you're not so like black and white cookie cutter. I'm just following this little rule book right here. Not saying you're breaking the rules, but like they know that you're actually genuinely finding solutions for them versus just like checking boxes, right? So all of this can be communicated in so many different ways. So step one for you to have amazing loyal customers for life is identify what your core values are. Identify what those are, what they mean to you, and what's really important. I would recommend just do a little brainstorm, get a piece of paper and do a dump list of like what matters to you the most in life. And then as you're looking at that, I want you to go through and highlight the things that really you also want to be known for in business. Okay, so highlight the things out of your list of priorities that are most important to you in life. What do you want to be known for in business? And then I want you to pick 3 to 5 of those and put a star by them as your top priority. And those are going to be your core value pillars. And that's what you're going to, first of all, every time you go into a client transaction, reflect on those. Remember how you want to show up. Remember how you want to be known. Remember how you want people to feel when they work with you. So that way it's in the front of your mind and you can just demonstrate it through your words, through your actions, through your energy. And then I also want to encourage you, once you identify that, to incorporate it in your marketing. So on your social media for your business, do you talk about those things? Those should be talking points that you're highlighting through the different posts that you do. If you put an ad out, I don't know, in a magazine or on a billboard or you run a Facebook ad, there should be verbiage in there that will help people understand what you're all about. So think about it like this. To go back to the Simon Sinek book, he made a great example, and I'm really just paraphrasing because, like I said, it's been years since I read the book, but it just was burned in my brain because it's that good. But he talked about, like, people don't, so Apple computers, when they advertise, they don't go, hey, we've got a really great computer, buy one, right? Or we've got a really great computer with these functional capabilities, buy it here. No, they say something like, hey, are you tired of being frustrated and, I don't know, the underdog? And you know what? Now I feel like I want to look it up. I've got my computer in front of me. Let's just do a Google real quick. Simon Sinek, Apple example. It popped right up in Google. See, Google's probably listening to me right now, right? Let's see if it pops up really easily. If not, it's fine. I'll just like keep it rolling. Let's see if this is it. Yes. Okay, this is it. Okay, so this is what Simon Sinek said in the book, and it totally can translate to your business. So he said, this is what you don't say. We make great computers. They're user-friendly, beautifully designed, and easy to use. Want to buy one? It doesn't stand out. It doesn't inspire anyone to buy. It's just, here's my product. Buy, right? Instead, he said, here's what a real marketing message from Apple might actually look like. With everything we do, we aim to challenge the status quo. We aim to think differently. Our products are user-friendly, beautifully designed, and easy to use. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? So you see, they're leading. They say the like benefits of their product, but they're leading with why. They're leading with what we stand for, our values, our mission, who we are. And then you find your tribe because they're naturally attracted to you. And then those people will want to keep buying from you and doing business with you because they're in your tribe. They connect with you in all your core values. So, okay. Next thing I want you to think about when you're looking at customer service is a few different things. So I'm actually going to tell you 5 things. So number 1 is, do you follow up? Do you follow up? One of the most powerful things that you can do for customer service is follow up. One of the biggest lessons I learned over 15 years of being a business leader is the fortunes in the follow up. The amount of clients, the amount of team members, the amount of people that I have gotten to work with that said no or just didn't buy, they didn't necessarily say no, but they just didn't become a customer on the very first transaction is exponential. I honestly would probably say it's like 80%. 20% of people I've interacted with are instant decision makers. They join my team, they buy my product, they want to work with me immediately. First conversation, right? Probably they already are decision makers, or they maybe already connected and researched, you know? The other 80%, that sale, whatever type of transaction it was, came on the 2nd to 6th contact attempt. Did you know there's actually sales statistics that have found that it's something like 70% of sales happen in the 6th contact attempt and beyond. So I want you to think about that. So many times in business, we reach out to somebody one time or 2 times and maybe they don't respond or whatever. And we're just like, oh, well, I guess they're not interested. I mean, I texted them, I left them a message. Surely if they're interested, they'll just get back to me, right? False. People are busy. They are busy. They've got a jillion things going on and they're not going to remember to call you back 9 times out of 10. You have to be the persistent person. Now, this does not mean pushy. This does not mean you should call a customer and follow up or a potential customer 25 times in a day. It just means be pleasantly persistent so that you can create those results. Now, on the flip side of that follow-up, it's so important also to make sure you follow up after the purchase. So one thing that stood out to me, this is when I was in my 20s, I just got out of college, I think it was like 22, but it really stood out to me. I went to Nordstrom because I was 22. I just got my first big girl job out of college with a salary. So I was like, I'm rich. I wasn't. I just had no idea, right? But I was so excited. I had stars in my eyes after college, thought I was going to conquer the world with my very first job. And I went to Nordstrom because I was like, I'm going to buy a pair of fancy, expensive jeans, not from Target or Old Navy because I'm rich now, right? And so anyways, I was so excited. I went to Nordstrom and it was so fun. I had my own little personal shopper. And they helped me find like the perfect pair of jeans. They were like, I don't know, probably $150 or something. And I was pumped and I bought the jeans and everything was cool. So here's what really got me, you guys. Like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I got a note in the mail, like a card, just like a nice card and handwritten note from the department manager of Nordstrom, like the girl that worked as the head of like the women's clothing department. And it was not auto-generated. It was clearly just like a regular note card penned out. And it was just saying, you know, hi, thanks so much for being one of our clients. We hope you absolutely loved your experience here, and we'd love to have you back as a loyal customer. If there's ever anything that we can do or you have questions about your purchase, here is my personal direct line. Y'all, that blew me away. I was like, really? Like, wow, you know, Target didn't send me a handwritten note. No hate on Target, you know, but it's like you get what you pay for, right? And I just thought that was so powerful, you guys. The power of that handwritten note, the power of that extra mile from that day. I mean, here, like I'm in my 30s, so this was over a decade ago, and it's still burned in my brain today. Think about how powerful that is. So what could you do for your clients that have just become your customer to go the extra mile for them, to show them that they're not just a number, to show them that they matter, to show them that you see them? You know, people say that you should treat people like they have a sign hanging around their neck saying, make me feel important. Can you treat people like that? And how would that make an impact on your business? I guarantee you, if you started writing handwritten notes and following up with your customers, you would be floored at the loyalty that you'll create. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is, do you go the extra mile? So obviously I just said fortunes and follow-up. I just kind of talked about the extra mile. So I won't go too much more into this, but I do want to say one more thing about it, is that this also means like above and beyond. So think about like the description of your job or your role in your business or whatever. Think about that. Like that's the minimum. The description that you have is the minimum for how you should be conducting yourself, working with your customers, and representing your business. But you don't want to just be a minimum, right? Like you want to be excellent. And people who are excellent, think about how they can go above and beyond. Like, oh, here's what services I offer and professionalism. I'm going to give them just a little bit better professionalism. I'm going to show up a little bit better, a little bit more professional. You know, I'll use my husband as an example because he's a real estate agent and it blows me away. I love watching him work with his clients because, I mean, he has clients that, you know, they'll be closing and moving in a house that day, and he's over there handyman helping him like fix stuff up or whatever. That's not in his job description. He just genuinely cares about people. He has clients of his that he's done business a year ago that will call him up and still he'll go like help them, you know, move or help them fix a weird thing in their window or leaky faucet or whatever. And it's not like he's just like running all over creation all the time, but it's like he has that mentality that my clients matter more than anything, and they are a person. They're not a transaction. They're not a number. I'm here for them. And that's powerful. Isn't that powerful? If you're like, dang, that's good, I want you to put like, that's good in the comments, because that just gets me so excited. Okay, number 3 is I want you to show up with a servant's heart. And this is the mentality of just showing up to serve, getting the numbers and the dollar signs out of your eyeballs when you work with customers, and show up to see them as a real person. You know, I learned this thing years ago at a coaching school I went to. And they talked about the visual, like anytime you work with your clients or your team, you want to put your, like, visualize your hands like this. Try to put it so you can see it. Like, you know, like service hands. And they said, you just always want to think about when you're going into any conversation, you're working with your team, you're working with your customers, picture those hands and go into it with that open hands. You're not going into that conversation or that customer follow-up or that transaction potential to get the dollars. Obviously, that's a wonderful byproduct. You're going in to serve. And here's what I want you to know. This is what's magical. If you are in the place where you're feeling desperate, you need money, you need success, your business is struggling, or you feel super stuck, you can get into a super desperate place of like, I need money, right? And the problem with that is when you're going and you're like, I'm focused on closing, I'm focused on creating results, you actually inadvertently push those things away. What's magical is when you start just truly showing up to serve. Get the dollar signs out of your eye. Take the outcome and end objective off of your mind and just show up to truly see that person, hear that person, and serve that person. Success inadvertently just comes from that. And you know what? It doesn't come just like a squeak and a penny like it would if you're trying to force a sale or something. It becomes this avalanche of success because that person wants to do business with you over and over again. They refer you to people. Like it is I feel like the secret sauce of having great client service and great customer service is when you truly think about leading with empathy. Lead it with empathy. Be thinking about like put yourself in their shoes and show up to serve them from where they're coming from, not where you're coming from. And when you do, you will like, it's like the idea when you help other people get what they want, you get what you want. It's that simple. And the next thing is don't be a robot. Be a person. And what I mean by this is like maybe you're a task-oriented person or you're very detail-oriented and you like to follow like a step-by-step system or something. It can feel hard when that's your personality style to be able to divert from like your regimen or your routine or your system. But creativity and flexibility is huge. If you are trying to lead a business, work with customers, lead a team with rigidity, I mean, it's going to be counterproductive. You're not going to see results that you want because people are people and you have to be fluid and flexible. And so don't be a robot. You can't just be like, hey, this is the exact same script that I say to every single person. Hey, I always say this. And then you're supposed to say this. And if you don't say this, I'm going to correct you because you need to say this because then I'm supposed to say this. You know, I get it. I have come from a background and training of tons of like scripts for booking appointments with clients, selling product, closing the sale, how to follow up, like all of that. I love scripts, but the reality is you can't just read a script to everybody and expect magical success because people feel that, you know, again, you have to connect with people and be you, be a person. That means it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to mess up and laugh at yourself. It's actually better. In fact, I want to tell you this, and this is a great example. If you go and do a Facebook Live, stop overthinking it. Don't be a robot. People that watch you on Facebook Live, they don't want to watch a robot that's all just like perfect and whatever. They want to watch you be a real person. It doesn't mean live your life as a hot mess. Obviously, you want to like be professional and be organized and like give your best and your most excellent self as much as you can. But recognize that the more you're just you, the more people will connect with you. And remember, people want to be a customer of somebody that they connect with and that they like and they feel like they can trust. Connection is your mojo. It builds likability, it builds trust, and it'll build you customers for life. And the very last thing I want to tell you in order to build customers for life is to be solutions oriented. You know, one of the things I find customers really lead with, I mean, when they're looking for something, they're trying to solve a problem, right? Customers are looking to solve a problem, and your job is to solve that problem. One of the things, though, that I think sometimes people get stuck in when they're working with clients or trying to do business or working with a team or whatever is not effectively helping people solve their problem. You know, if you don't help a client realize that what you offer is the solution to their problem, they're not going to buy from you and they're not going to repeat buy from you, right? So how do you get someone to realize that what you offer is the solution to their problem and to truly be solutions oriented? One thing you can do is ask really great questions. And another thing you can do is describe their pain points, because at the end of the day, I can say, hey, you have this problem and I have the solution. That's fine. But the way that you get somebody to actually be like, yes, what they offer is the solution to my problem, is they have to decide that you're the solution, not you. So it doesn't matter if you tell someone you're the solution. What matters is that they tell you that you're the solution. How do you do that? Through empathy. And this is a magical thing I learned like probably 10 years ago, but it was a game changer for me in team building, sales, and really all things business. Empathy. All that empathy means is put yourself in somebody else's shoes, like truly. So for example, if you want to have a customer, like, let's say you trying to think of something. Well, I'll just keep going with the houses because I just did Josh's, my husband's real estate exam. We'll keep doing that. So let's say you are in real estate and, you want to attract people that are second-time home buyers. They already have one home. They want to upgrade. You can say all the things in the world. What empathy is you need to think about, okay, who's my client? Okay, this scenario. It's a second-time home buyer. They just had a baby and now they need more space and they want to change neighborhoods from where they originally lived. So once you know that, you've got to think about how would they probably feel? Do they maybe feel stressed? Do they maybe feel overwhelmed? Do they maybe feel crazy because they have a new addition to their family? Think about all the things that you would probably feel if you were in their shoes, and then describe that to them. So you might say, hey, I can imagine, oh my goodness, right now you are probably feeling overwhelmed. You're like, wow, we need more space. There's baby stuff everywhere. And you want to make a shift. You're thinking about schools for your little one that's about to be 5. You think you want to be in a different school district, but you're really overwhelmed because you haven't been getting much sleep, right? You got a newborn, and between the bottle feedings and, your other little one, and then trying to just like cook dinner and live your life, you feel like, where do you even have time in the day to go and research the best properties for you? Well, that's where I come in. Da, 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 da. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're describing their struggle. And when you do that, it causes someone to just be like, oh my gosh, that's me. And then they connect the dots, and that's when they say to you, you're the solution to my problem. Wow, when somebody embraces that you're the solution to their problem, they'll be your customer for life. Okay, so those are my tips for you guys today of how to build absolutely sparkling, amazing customer loyalty. I promise you, if you start implementing these things, you're going to be mind blown at the momentum you're going to be able to create in your business. And just imagine, customer loyalty creates residual income, creates automatic income where you can create even more money with less effort. So it is just it's like gold. So hope this helped you guys today. Have an amazing one, and I'll see you here next week.